Morning, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, a man whose life-defining career spanned over 5 decades, is being remembered. He died Wednesday at the age of 100. He served as the nation's top diplomat under Presidents Nixon and Ford, advising 12 presidents on foreign policy. Kissinger is most widely remembered for spearheading the exit from Vietnam and opening up diplomatic relations with communist China. Joining us right now, Jeremy Suri, author of Henry Kissinger and the American Century. You're also the Mac Brown Distinguished Professor for Global Leadership History and Public Policy at the University of Texas, Austin. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for being here.
My pleasure.
So, starting with the fact that he had what you write is a life as improbable as it was consequential. He's the only person in history to ever serve as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor at the same time. He lived the American dream. I mean, despite so much criticism over his career, what was the defining character trait that he had that made him so uniquely impactful?
Well, he came from nothing, but he rose fast and far and stayed at the top for so long because he had a nose for power. This was a man who believed power was essential in the aftermath of the Holocaust to protect his people, to protect his new country. And he was remarkably talented and tireless in the pursuit of power, and talented in particular at appealing to other powerful people, making himself useful, sometimes indispensable to other powerful people.
That is so telling, really, of his whole entire life. His political career is unmatched. He was instrumental in forging the West's relationship with China. Does his work impact and set up the dominoes for our relationship with China today?
Absolutely. Henry Kissinger pioneers the opening to China. The United States had no relationship with communist China before Kissinger's trip in 1971 and 72 with Richard Nixon. And that relationship has been built upon an American and Chinese agreement that these two countries benefit by trading and benefit by having a, shall we say, uncomfortable but still stable military relationship in Asia. It is a relationship that does not emphasize human rights, and it's a relationship that avoids the Taiwan issue. We say there's one China and two governments. That's the framework for relations Kissinger created. It's still the framework we use today.
You often write about how the future can be informed by the past. What can we all learn from what Henry Kissinger was able to accomplish and the relationships that he forged in foreign diplomacy?
I think his life is one of the most revealing for those of us who care about the future of policymaking. Kissinger shows us that American power is essential in the world. It was essential for the United States to help build NATO. It was essential for the United States to reconstruct Japan. It was essential for the United States to negotiate an end to the 1973 war, making a peace agreement possible between Egypt and Israel. At the same time, Kissinger's career teaches us that power, when used in an undisciplined way, when we become hubristic and self-centered, as he did at times, when too much power corrupts us, as it did at times for him, then we get into very serious trouble, as we did in Vietnam, human rights violations, and even war crimes. We have to learn to use power as Kissinger did, but with more discipline, with more care, and with more attention to voices other than the voices we're familiar with in a few countries around the world.
Well, his voice and his legacy will live on for quite some time. Jeremy Suri, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.